Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Still September 10th, 2019. It is Tuesday. I was actually asked to do this follow-up before, and a person left it in the comments again. So I thought I would do a follow-up on this. We did a live stream. Now, we're going to be talking about Building 7 and the whole surroundings with that. Is tomorrow is the anniversary of 9/11. So we're going to talk about that a second, okay? So it will be 18 years from the event tomorrow, okay? And I will never forget, we're going to go over a little bit of the background of it first from my perspective of where I was and what was going on in my life at that time. At the time that it happened, we were still living in an apartment. We had just got a house. We're getting ready to move into a house, and we were living in the apartment still. My ex-wife was pregnant with the twins at the time, and so I was, any other morning, like every day, I got up and was getting ready to go to work. And so what happened was, I remember her saying, "Oh my God," and I was in the bathroom, and I was like, "What?" She goes, "A plane just hit one of the Twin Towers." And I was like, "Oh my God." So we're watching it on the television, and as we were watching it, the second plane came in and hit the second tower, okay? Now, there has been a lot of speculation about the whole thing, of what happened after that, the conspiracy theory stuff and all this type of stuff. But here's what I want you to do. I'm not going to talk conspiracy theories with you, okay? I'm going to talk facts, and I'm going to let you draw your own conclusions as hopefully intelligent human beings that you are, okay? So as we were watching after the second plane hit and the first tower collapsed, and I will never forget my reaction to that at that time, because you got to remember, these planes hit very, very high in the towers, okay? And I remember saying to her, "That building didn't collapse. That building was pulled." I said, "That was a controlled demolition." And she says, "What do you mean?" I said, "There is no way that that building came down like that. No way, after being hit by an airplane. Not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's not logically possible. There's no possible way that that could happen. None." Okay? So I said those buildings had to be pulled. Now, if anybody's watched some of the videos that have been surfaced on the internet, where just before the buildings collapsed, there was some puffs out of different floors where obviously demolition charges had been released. Okay? It's all there, guys. So I am not making this up. This is not a conspiracy theorist type of thing. All right? So we were told to believe that these hijackers with box cutters took over these planes. These were not experienced pilots, okay? And simulations have been done since then by very, very experienced pilots trying to recreate not one, but two different planes flying in to the Twin Towers, okay? Tried to recreate that several times. Can't do it. Experienced pilots couldn't do it. So you're going to tell me, you know, out of pure blind luck, that these two yahoos with minimal piloting experience got into these planes and were able to circumvent and fly them into the Twin Towers. And it just so happens that on this particular day, 9/11, that this happened, that the general normal pilots who are in the military to protect New York City just happened to be out over the ocean someplace doing a military exercise. So they were nowhere around to be able to stop this from happening. Isn't that a coincidence? Just imagine that, okay? So let us not forget, though. Let's not forget this, because I think this is a really, really important part of this. The guy that had owned the Twin Towers and Building 7, we're going to get to Building 7 in a minute, he had taken out this huge, huge insurance policy on the buildings not long before this happened. So he made a freaking, I mean, for like $1 billion, I believe is what it was. I'm not, you can't quote me on the exact amount, but it was a tremendous, tremendous amount of money. And so he was able to cash in on that. Now, Building 7 that was never hit, okay, had a little bit of fire damage and stuff like that. They were like, oh, nope, we got to pull Building 7 too. So they pulled that building, and it was BS. Do the research. I'm not making this up. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Okay, I'm not trying to, make people that lost people in 9/11 uncomfortable. And I have done that before, talking about this afterwards with somebody. Somebody got really upset with me, did not want to hear anything other than the fact that it was horrible terrorist and that the government could never be involved in anything like that, or any type of that event, because it's like, she lost a cousin there, and so she did not want to hear it, okay? But again, logically looking at the situation, and you got to remember, guys, these towers were built very, very well because they were so high. So there's no way some plane hitting so many stories up, and they tried to sell us this story that the jet fuel, which would have probably burned up on impact, by the way, or would have blown off pretty quickly, ran down the walls, melted the steel all the way down to the basement. Oh yeah, okay, I believe that. And collapsed these buildings. Do you really believe that? Or you just don't want to believe that our own government could be behind something as atrocious of this type of attack? Like perhaps they were behind the fact that they allowed Japan to bomb Pearl Harbor so that we could get into World War II, okay? Let's not even talk about that one, okay? Now, let's think about this. The Patriot Act, which was a direct result from 9/11, was written before 9/11 happened, okay? So these are all things that I want you guys to think about. And I'm not telling you anything that you cannot research for yourself, okay? You can do the research yourself. There's no way, absolutely no way, that those buildings came down like they did because they were hit by airplanes, okay? So there's even talk, and I'm not going to say one way or the other, that it wasn't even airplanes that hit the buildings, that it was missiles that hit the buildings, that it wasn't even airplanes. Now, I heard that as well, okay? But again, I want you to do your own research on that and look into it, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, as just a guy standing in his living room watching that horror unfold 18 years ago tomorrow, I will never forget that. And I knew right then and there, I said, this is crap, this is BS, there's no way that this happened this way, that they're trying to defeat us and to tell us how it happened. There was no way. So I want you to think about this, guys. I don't want you to just dismiss me out of hand as some conspiracy theorist, because I am not a conspiracy theorist, okay? I am a person that logically looks at things, and that I use my brain and I go, we've been duped. And what did we do as a direct result of that? We handed over more of our freedoms in the guise of safety. As a direct result of that, you now have, in the airports, the ridiculousness that we have to go through to fly in an airplane now, like we never had to do that before. It's just, it's BS. It is absolute and complete BS. And again, and just want to put this out there, all this was orchestrated without a gun. So they couldn't blame it on, they needed to do more gun control with that. This video is probably going to be demonetized. I fully expect this video to be demonetized because they don't want people talking about this type of thing. They're going to say it's a conspiracy theorist, and of course that I'm crazy and every freaking thing else. But that's okay. You guys know the truth. A lot of you know the truth. The rest of you that are skeptical, or the rest of you that think that I'm completely, out of my mind, I was going to say sage crazy, but do the research. Look at it. There's no way it happened the way that they tried to sell it to us. And the reason that people bought it is because they wanted to buy it. They did not want to believe that our own government would be capable of doing something like that, okay? So I want you guys to really think about it. I want you to do the research on this. Building 7 was pulled and it was not even hit, okay? So why would that be happening? Well, because of insurance, of course. And, you know, the whole thing. Look at the whole picture, guys. If you look at the whole picture of things, you realize how we have been duped and how we've been just completely, the ridiculous results from it, okay? We go into Iraq, you know, looking for weapons of mass destruction that were not there, because it was all a BS anyway as well, and it was an excuse, okay? That's all that was. We were finishing up what Daddy Bush didn't finish up in the first Gulf War. So think about that. You know, look at these situations. Look what happened. Look at how we were duped, and it's unbelievable, and it's a reality. And it continues to happen today, and it will continue to happen. These events that happen, that they say, you know, like somebody had just mentioned the other day when I was talking about orchestrated events and how like we're being BS'd constantly. And they said, well, look at Syria. We were just getting ready to pull out of Syria, where all of a sudden he supposedly uses gas on his own people again, and we're staying, and we're still there. And that was a great example as well. You know, some supposed chemical attack by the horrible Assad over there, and you know, now we have to stay. So, I mean, it continues over and over and over again, this manipulation of the American people, and because people want to believe their government and don't want to believe that we could do these horrible things, even to our own people. It's all about money, guys. It's all big business. It was all orchestrated, and you will not find anybody to convince me otherwise. Okay? I definitely want to hear your feedback on this video. Tomorrow, I'm sure there's going to be a tremendous amount of videos on this topic. But, you know, I think it's going to be very interesting. We can talk about it more tomorrow in the live stream if you would like, if you want to bring it up. I won't have that as my headline topic because I know for sure they'll demonetize that if I do that. So, but anyway, I did say that I would follow up on this, you know, when we did that 9/11, you know, video a while back. And so this is my follow-up. So hopefully you appreciate that. Again, what I want you guys to do, don't believe me verbatim. Do your research. Look it up. Follow the trail. Follow the money trail. Follow what happened. What happened afterwards. What was a direct result of this, okay? All of it plays into it, guys, okay? But the biggest thing, the biggest smoking gun to me is the whole insurance thing where he took out, and I believe it was over $1 billion, I believe. Please, if I'm wrong, put the right number in the comments, okay? So anyway, guys, remember, we're all in this together. That's important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. And also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself. That's it. Nobody else can stop you, okay? So, you know, be smart, guys, and be ready. It ended up being 86 degrees today. I was just downtown a little while ago. I went out for a bike ride, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It was a beautiful, beautiful ride, and great. And I can't believe it's 86, but especially yesterday was in the low 70s. So crazy weather, but that's New York. Wait 5 minutes and it will change. So I will talk to you guys all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.